I've been using this journal to track my habits for the last 116 days. I'm going to go over my setup, how I use it, and what I've learned. Since January 12th, 2026, I've been consistently journaling every day in this habit tracker. The actual notebook I use is a traveler's journal, and these are really cool because they're very customizable. They come with a leather case. I have this attachment with two just pilot pens. I have this airplane charm. And then on the inside, I have a zipper attachment. And then I have 3 different notebooks, but I only use one of them to actually track my habits. And all of this is inspired from Dominic Hart, who I will link below on YouTube. I kind of copied his exact template, but I've adapted it and tweaked it every month a bit to make it more of my own. So this is how it looked originally when I started doing this in January. I've kept some things, but I've changed them over the months as I've continued to do this, and I'll go a little more into detail on the current month. On the left-hand side, I put the month and year, and then a memorable moments section, which it's super helpful to have grid paper. It makes it a lot easier, and you can number all the days of the month here. I like to put a quote as well at the bottom, and then I use this ruler, a brass ruler, just to make sure that all the lines are straight. And on the right hand side is where you actually track your habits. I keep it pretty simple, and I use these core 5 for every month. So I do movement, which I define just as some sort of exercise, yoga, mobility, just something. Quality conversation, which is a little more subjective, but just that I feel I had a good conversation with somebody close to me. A focus work block, which I count as any dedicated workspace where I'm not multitasking, I'm just focused on getting something done. Journaling, which can be as simple as journaling in some of the other sections here or in a different journal. And then reading, which I use is about 10 pages a day. And then these red ones here, I always do 2 experimental ones. So for this month, I'm trying to learn to cook better. So I did learn a cooking skill, and I'm also currently unemployed. So I did make a job application. If I do them, I put X's next to them. And then I have 2 graphs here. I track my mood, which is subjective, but just me reflecting on how I felt for the day. And then my sleep, which I track with my Garmin watch. So whatever my sleep score is, I write it there, and then I track it here. And again, I use the ruler to make these charts nice and clean. As an example, I'll do yesterday, which I have not done yet. So I went to a concert with friends. As far as memorable moments, I would write that. So I'm putting Sammy Vergie, concert with friends. I did work out. I did have some good conversations. I did actually have a focus work block. I applied to some jobs, but I did not journal or read yesterday, so I'll leave those blank. We did get new cutting knives, and I learned a bit about how to use those, so I will count that as learn a cooking skill, and I did also make a job application. And I was in a pretty good mood yesterday overall, so I'm gonna put it in the middle top box here. And then my sleep score was a 74. Not great, but not the worst thing either. And then that would be in between 60s, somewhere right around here. And we'll finish it off with the ruler just to make it look all clean. So that's really all this consists of. The memorable moments can be anything, good, bad, in between, just whatever comes to mind. I usually do this the night of or the next morning, and I have to at least finish the next morning if I want to put my sleep and sleep score. But it's been very good for me to track my habits, to be consistent. I think these core 5 are really good for me just to make sure that I'm doing every day. And then it's fun to switch it up and experiment a bit too with the other 2 habits. And for example, last month I did try something new or take a video. The month before that, I did study Italian or no alcohol. The month before that, I did 10 plus minutes of yoga or no caffeine. And then this whole first month was kind of different. I was just trying things out. It's worth it. For me, I would say 100%. I think it keeps me very consistent and working towards things that are aligned with my goals and my values. And it's been interesting to reflect and check in, and even the memorable moments section, I already like looking back even a couple months and just seeing what I was doing and thinking of. And I think this is both useful and sentimental. And there's tons of ways you could do this. I mean, this whole setup with the traveler's notebook is a little pricey, but you could use something as simple as an A5 journal, as a super basic pen setup. I just like the character and everything that comes with this, but I would highly recommend trying it out, and you can of course customize the setup, the pen, the paper that you use, although using grid paper will make it a lot easier if you want to do something similar to this, and the habits. Those should be up to you, what you think makes your life meaningful or worth living or is good for you. And yeah, it's been a really good 116 days. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'll probably make another video in a year or so and report back, but I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this and would highly recommend. Thank you for watching.